The most spooky thing about Halloween Havoc is how bad my picks for NXT PLEs are. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blog who always tells it like it is. 5 out of 6, including the Crown Jewel champs. Pretty good. Certainly countered the No Mercy lousy record. Hopefully I can improve here. Also, sorry for this being a little late. I'm on vacation, so I decided to sleep in. Anyway, despite this being the 18th Halloween Havoc, the 6th under the NXT banner, and the 2nd outside of the Performance Center, this is the end of an era, it seems. Not just because wrestlers from other promotions are participating in it, and not just because it's the first Havoc to take place in central Arizona. And yes, I looked it up, and I know it's in Prescott Valley, Arizona. No, it seems the era that's ended is... This is the first Havoc without Spin the Wheel Make the Deal since it first arrived in 1992. Yep, I didn't see no wheel at all over the last few weeks. Not even the ridiculous computer-generated one from a few years ago. Unless the 2 no DQ matches were spun behind the scenes, a 32-year-old tradition is over. And that's a shame, because you know that I liked those Raw Roulette shows back in the 20-aughts and 2010s. Oh well, at least there are pretty good matches involved. Hell, even the 3-promo tag team match looks good, so... Let's kick Linus out of the pumpkin patch, put on our silver shamrock masks, and make some havoc. Here are my predictions for Halloween Havoc 2025. Interpromotional tag team match. NXT's Javon Evans and TNA X Division champ Leon Slater against AAA's Mr. Iguana and La Parca. Yet another time when the WWE is saying, don't get too comfy, TNA and AAA. We are this close to buying both y'all and making you Bush Leagues to NXT. But you know, if there's going to be a mixed tag team between them, Evans and Slater ain't too shabby. Remember that the so-called X Division is about high-flying skill, not weight. So they are put together nicely. But I think it's time Mr. Iguana got a win with his umpteenth new partner. As long as Finn Balor doesn't show up, it'll be a great match, but the winners are Iguana and Parca. Broken Rules match for the NXT Tag Team titles. NXT and TNA champs, the Broken Hardy Boys versus Dark State. Well, if Trick Williams can finally lose the TNA title to a TNA wrestler, I think it's time for these good old Carolina boys to give up the NXT belts they won at Invasion Showdown. Not that I want Dark State to run roughshod over the NXT Tag Division. I mean, the promoters are already doing that. But Broken Matt and Broken Nero, damn, this is confusing, are TNA House of Glory and 4th Rope Tag Champs, and they ain't young no more. All those belts will snap their legs off with the weight. Give them back, and for Tony Gurria's sake, make the NXT Tag Division viable again. Winners are Dark State. Match for the vacant Women's North American title. Zarya versus Blake Monroe. Poor soul, Ruka. But I have to say, it serves her right for being greedy. Wanting to be 3 belts Ruka made her careless and prone to Monroe's distractions. And now she's no belts Ruka. Unless the speed title isn't subject to the 30-day defense rule. Good thing Zarya is still missing from Overwatch 2 to have her back. But the whole reason Monroe jumped from AEW is the same reason why Jade Cargill did, to win titles and fast-track to the main roster. Of course, Jade fast-tracked first, but whatever. Zarya may have the power, but Monroe has the speed, the tenacity, and most importantly, the gall to attack Ruka should she come anywhere near the ring. Then Zarya will jump to Ruka's defense, Monroe takes advantage, and... winner and new champ, Blake Monroe. Men's North American title in a Day of the Dead match. NXT's Ethan Page versus AAA's El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Hijo means son, by the way, so shouldn't he be Dr. Wagner III? Then again, he might not actually be a doctor like Papa and Abuelo, so again, whatevs. I'm guessing this match has been set because, hey, if a SmackDown team can win the AAA tag titles and a Raw superstar still holds the AAA Mega Championship, why can't a AAA luchador hold a WWE title, even if it's an NXT title? And I get it. I mean, this matchup has been building for some time, and AAA has yet to actually take a WWE NXT title, but that's the point, isn't it? I keep saying titles should stay in their lanes. Dum Dum needs to lose the Mega title, Kalani needs to lose the Knockouts title, and All Ego needs to outsmart El Doctor and to keep NXT's original secondary title in NXT. Winner and still champ, Ethan Page. NXT Women's Championship. Jacy Jayne defends against Tatum Paxley. I'll talk about a missed opportunity here. Last year, Paxley spun the wheel and beat Wendy Chu into obscurity in the first ever women's casket match. Who knows what it would have been spun this year for her. But the thing with Paxley is she seems to be nothing without help. I mean, Diamond Mine, Lyra Valkyria, G Dolan, now the Coling. Who would she be without help? Not true, she needed no help in that battle royal, but Valkyria jumped in to hug her old frenemy afterwards anyway. And you're saying, oh, she's just going to keep Fallon Henley and Lady Ray Reed at bay along with Izzy Dame. And I say, okay, good point. And the big point is Paxley's been struggling for 4 years in NXT Sans title, despite numerous attempts, earned or otherwise. Time for Fatal Influence to suffer a fatal injury to the stable. Winner and new champ, Tatum Paxley. Finally, NXT Championship match, Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. First of all, thank goodness Williams lost the TNA World title. Letting him win it was a worse decision than having Tessa Blanchard win it. But now there's nothing holding Williams back from retrieving what was once his. With Obafemi still recovering, Saints has a lot to live up to. But he impressed me with no mercy. With zero help, he took down the Nigerian monster and showed just how all elite he truly was. But Williams doesn't seem to be anything without a primary title around his waist lately. Surely he was ticked when Mike Santana took the TNA gold a few weeks back, and he plans to take it out on Saints to cover up his midriff again. Saints has been laser focused on the AEW to NXT formula I mentioned before. Win titles, hold titles, fast track to main roster. Will Williams be left in the dust when Saints eventually loses the title? Maybe not. But he definitely won't win the title back here. Winner and still champ, Ricky Saints. Those are my picks. Let's see if I have a ghost of a chance getting them right. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace, and I'll see ya.